Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the FPL Duo. This is the FPL Game Week 33 Transfer Tips video series where we will recommend you two players to buy, two players to sell, two players to hold, and two players to ignore. Now, we're going to get into the players that we recommend for you. But yeah, how you doing, Jordan? As always, are you okay? How's
Yeah,
everything?
I'm very good, thank you. Everything's all
That's
okay
good.
on
That's
my
good.
end.
Okay. So yeah, we've got game week 33 coming up, and it is a double game week, as you know. So interestingly, let's see who we've picked this week. So let's get into it. I think the first player we recommend. Who is it? Let's put it up on the screen now. So the first player we recommend you guys buy is Fabian Shah or Share. I think that's how you say his name, Fabian Share. Um, you look at him and his fixtures, I think he looks quite good, especially in game week 33, where he has Leicester at home and Palace at home. And then in game week 34, he has Norwich away. Now, we recommend him because I think that's a very good double game week fixtures for him. And Newcastle have been playing a bit better, keeping a bit more clean sheets recently. And he's looking, well, he's nailed. And yeah, I think he's a one that you could bring in this week. The only problem is after game week 35, you could see his fixtures Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, he doesn't look great. So if you bring him in, he is quite a short-term move, probably for the next 2 game weeks. He is 4.4 million, so he's quite cheap, low ownership, 2 goals as well, 2 assists, not bad from him. So yeah, I think he is one player definitely I'll be looking to buy into my personal team. And yeah, he's one I highly recommend as the price also makes sense. If you wanted to spend a bit more money, you could go someone like Matt Target, who I think could be a bit better, but Shah we've recommended as he is cheaper. But Matt Target or even Dan Burn are also good, serious options as a buy. So yeah, Fabian Shah for Newcastle is the first player we recommend you buy, and his game week 33 fixture looks very good. What do you reckon anyway? About what's your opinions on him?
Yeah, I think it's important to have at least one Newcastle player in your team for this double game week,
Mm,
as results from Newcastle have been really good because they won against Wolves recently. I know
yeah.
they had a bit of an issue with Spurs losing 5-1, but they've had good turnarounds. Like they won against Southampton 2-1, and they're good at keeping clean sheets as well. Newcastle now that Eddie Howe has sort of reformed the team, made them a
Mm,
bit more fit to shape in the defence. And I think yes, Shaw or
yeah. Fabian
however,
Shah.
yeah, Shaw. He's a good pick. He's a popular pick for this game week as well. A lot of people have brought him in. I think he is. Let me just check 1 second. He is the fourth most bought in player with 115,000 transfer ins. So he is
Okay.
in the popular transfer market this
Yeah.
double game week.
So ownership's gonna fly up then very soon.
Yeah, he's currently on 3.9%. So he's
Hmm.
a differential at the moment. He probably will still be uh, near the deadline. But yeah, he's a good pick all round. Like the price is cheap. Not many people own him. And he has the potential to keep clean sheets in Leicester home, definitely. Even Crystal Palace home, it doesn't seem likely,
Yeah.
but statistically, Newcastle could potentially keep a clean sheet in both those double game week matches. And uh, sh- sh-
Shah.
yeah, Shah, that silent C, switch
Yeah.
off, can potentially get bonus points too.
Hmm.
See,
Yeah. I think he's also a good pick. He's one I'm looking at bringing into my own team. As you guys know, I've mentioned on the previous video, he's the one I'm looking at. But let's move on to the second player now that we recommend you buy, and that is Madison. I'll let you take this one, Jordan. Why should we bring Madison in?
okay, I think it's quite obvious why you should bring Madison and just looking at the game week fixtures next coming up. So obviously in that double game week 33, he has Newcastle away and Everton away. And then past game week 34, Aston Villa, and then Tottenham in 35. But it gets so much better after game week 35. So Leicester double against Everton home and Norwich home in 36. Then yet again, another double in 37 against Watford away, and then Chelsea away. Maybe Chelsea one is a bit of a stretch, but if you look at Everton, Watford, Norwich as well, that is a huge for Maddison for a player. Like in those 3 double game weeks, those fixtures, there's 6.
And
fixtures.
they're playing right now, aren't they, Leicester?
They're currently playing, against PSV, but are currently losing.
They're losing 1-0.
Yeah.
So, which is quite good for FPL, because if Leicester get knocked out, there should be less rotation risk with players like Maddison and Barnes, and even Iheanacho. And it's looking like, where they're 30 minutes away from potentially being knocked out. So if that happens, then I think Maddison, Barnes become even better options to bring in ahead of game week 33 with that 2 favourable fixtures against Newcastle and Everton.
Yeah. A lot of people are probably holding on to see what happens from the result of that match before thinking about buying in other Leicester assets, as if they did go through, or if they do go through, then it does become of an issue in terms of rotation for other players. But we know Maddison will most likely play both, despite what happens to the result tonight in that game. But it all depends on if Leicester can win that game or not. It will depend on if you can bring in other assets like Barnes, as we mentioned, Iheanacho and so forth.
Yeah, now let's move on to the players we recommend you sell. First we just completed Maddison now, so that's 2 players we recommend you buy, Shaw and Maddison. The next player we recommend you sell is quite an obvious one as well, I'd say, because he does blank this week in game week 33, and that is Rafinha of Leeds. Now, the reason why I would sell Rafinha is, as you know, he's in a lot of teams at the moment, I feel. So he's an easy player to get rid of, to bring in Maddison or Barnes at similar price range at 6.5 million. He doesn't have a fixture in 33. Then he has Palace and then Man City in 35. Then he has a very tough double in 36 against Arsenal and Chelsea. So I believe he could be an easy sell this week. And you can even sell him for someone like Maddison or Barnes. So easy for us there. Rafinha is definitely a sell for I have Rafinha myself, and he is the one that's making way. So I can bring in James Maddison. So yeah, Rafinha is an easy sell for us. And now let's move on to the next player. Another easy one, but I'll let you take this one.
Yeah. This is quite ironic because we said to buy Doherty last week, and now we're telling you to sell him now, because obviously he is out for the season. He picked up an injury in the previous match, and he's not expected to return till the start of June, which by then it's gone. The season's pretty much finished. He's picked up a knee injury, so he's out for the whole season. You can afford to sell Doherty and get someone else in. It is a perfect switch for Sarr. Yeah. So it's a perfect switch transfer if you have Doherty in your team.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. At his price, 4.9 million, he was playing quite well, getting a couple of double-digit hauls, and he was just a cheap, decent defender with good fixtures as well. So maybe you could bring in Reguilon as well, maybe for those fixtures, if you're tempted with a Spurs asset. But yeah, it's unfortunate that he's out for the rest of the season. And after Tierney as well, Tierney last week out for the season, now Doherty out for the season. So it's quite unfortunate for those players, I say.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how Spurs are affected by this. As we've seen with Arsenal with Tierney, it has had a massive fallback on them, as losing 2 of their matches.
They lost back-to-back.
Yeah, back-to-back matches, which they have in hand as well. So we'll see what happens against Brighton, Brentford and Leicester, what Spurs can do, see if it affects them or not.
Yeah. All right, now let's go on to a couple of players we recommend you we hold on to. So the next player we recommend you hold, and it's an interesting one, which I have SAKA in my own team as well, and I will be doing the same. I will be holding him. And the reason we recommend you hold him is because he does have a double game week in 33. I know Arsenal are come back off the back of 2 losses against Palace and Brighton, so not playing great recently. 2, quite big losses, but they do have a double game week against Southampton, which is quite favourable. And Chelsea is a bit tougher, but I'd be patient with Saka. I think you hold him for at least 33, and then consider what you want to do after that. But you look at his 5 assists, 9 goals, 0.26 xG per 90, 0.27 expected assists per 90. 72 shots in total. Saka is one I still firmly believe you should hold. And I also think he is a potential, he was a potential captain option for this week before those 2 bad losses. A lot of people were looking at Gameweek 33 thinking, you know what, Saka's the one I'm going to captain this week. But maybe people have changed their opinion on that after the last couple of games. But I still believe he's a decent hold. What about you, Jordan? Your views on Saka?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm quite surprised. He's the 7th most transferred out player this week. A lot of people have transferred him out. Almost 100,000 players have got rid of Saka. And it's crazy because of his double game week, Southampton away and Chelsea away. I know that they're not the easiest fixtures, but we've seen Southampton lose 6-0 to Chelsea previously. I mean, this is a good game for Saka to get a good return in. I mean, Chelsea's going to be a bit more harder and challenging, but you don't want to get rid of Saka now, especially after game week 34 and 35. Got another double game week against Leeds home and then Tottenham away. So it's a similar situation. You want to hold on to him, but consider what happens in game week 34 and 35 to see how well he does in between there. But it's definitely a hold player to keep hold of. You don't want to sell him now, especially with his ownership as well. It's really high. 32.8% of people own Saka.
Yeah, it's a lot higher as well. And when his effective ownership is quite high as well.
Yeah,
in the top 10k.
So if he does well in these matches and you don't have Saka, it's going to really hurt your rank as well. So you have to consider those too, but definitely hold on to him.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I agree with you with your thoughts. Saka is one I'm holding myself. I don't think it's a time now to be getting rid of him, especially after back of 2 losses. Now they have to win against Southampton. Saka is one of the main men. Saka is expected to, get the goals for Arsenal, I'd say, at this rate. He's still one of their key players up front. And I expect him to bounce back against Southampton. Hopefully he can get a goal or an assist. And, we expect an Arsenal win after recent weeks. And then whatever he gets against Chelsea is probably a bonus. So, yeah, Saka is a definite hold. And, yeah, let's move on to the second player we recommend you hold this game week. The second player we recommend you hold is REECE James. And, Jordan, what's your view on REECE James? Why should we hold him?
Well, this is mainly because of what happened yesterday. Because we know that Real Madrid played Chelsea in the second leg of the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, Chelsea have been knocked out of that despite them winning 3-2 against Real Madrid.
Yeah, that was on Tuesday, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday. Liverpool played Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yes.
Tuesday. So because of that result, similar to Leicester, if they do lose too, REECE James becomes less of a rotation risk now. If Chelsea are not to progress in the Champions League anymore, that means their majority of the focus will be now on the Premier League, which is the only, I think, cups they have left.
Well, they have FA Cup still. They play FA Cup on Sunday against Palace, but getting knocked out the Champions League, I think, is very good for FPL players that have REECE James, because now there's no need to rest him for any crucial semi-finals. Now he can play pretty much every game. I'd expect him to play most of those games, especially in 36 and 37, where they have back-to-back doubles.
Yeah, we haven't seen much from REECE James, obviously, because Tuchel hasn't played him in the starting 11, but it's been a bit unfortunate for that. But he was holding him for the Champions League games. But now that they're knocked out, it's more of a reason to keep REECE James, because we know now he's going to play more minutes, hopefully, especially in the double game weeks in 36 and 37, where they have Wolves home and Leeds away, and Man United away, and then Leicester home. He's going to rack up quite a lot of points, I reckon, in those 2 double game weeks if he is to play. And with him, he still effectively owned a lot, 14.1%. He's considerably cheap as well, 6.3 mil.
Well, for his output, yeah.
Yeah, for his output, considerably. It's pretty high still. So there is a lot of faith in players to keep hold of.
Yeah, 6 assists, 5 goals this season as well. So REECE James is one I'm holding. I don't think now is the time. If you've got him, maybe the last couple of weeks, it was a mistake to last 2 weeks he didn't play one of the games. I think he was benched. So, but now I think you can, especially after that Champions League result against Real Madrid, I think hold James for at least until 35. Even 36. The doubles, you can't ignore the doubles. So yeah, Reece James is a hold for us this week because I don't think there's anyone else to bring in for now. Now let's move on to the next batch of players, and these are the players we recommend that you should completely ignore. A couple of controversial ones, but we'll get into them. The first player we recommend you ignore is Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, this could be a very controversial one because I've seen a lot of FPL managers tempted to bring in Cristiano Ronaldo into their team. Now, Ronaldo has 12 goals this season, 3 assists. His expected goals per 90 is 0.64, and his expected assists per 90 is 0.16. He is priced at 12.2 million, and his ownership's at 18.9%. He does have a double game this week against Norwich at home, which looks very good on paper for him. And then Liverpool away, which is obviously the tougher game. And then he's got Arsenal, Brentford, Brighton, and then Chelsea in 37. Now, Ronaldo is an interesting player because I think if you're on a free hit, you could be tempted to bring Ronaldo in. I'd say you could be tempted to bring him in on a free hit, or you could be going with someone like Bruno. But if you're looking to do a transfer, it's very hard to recommend anyone to take Kane out for Ronaldo. I don't know if I'd be doing something like that. If I was on a free hit, I might risk Ronaldo. But even on a free hit, as Jordan will come on to why he's so against having Ronaldo in the team, because obviously we know Man United, we know how bad they've been playing recently and how much they've struggled. They just got beat off Everton last week, which was, I don't know if that was a shock to people, but that was a very crazy scoreline. We didn't expect that, 1-0 to Everton after how bad they've been as well. But what's your views on Ronaldo? Is ignore. I think a lot of people are still interested in Ronaldo.
I don't know what's interesting about Ronaldo.
What's his stats like when transfers in and transfers out? How much has he been transferred in this week? Is it a lot?
For him to be transferred in, it hasn't really been that much. He's let me just check it 1 minute. Got it here. He's not in the top 5 transferred in players, but he is. He's at the bottom of the first page, so he's 24th most transferred in player. He's only got 28,000 transfer ins.
Okay, that could go up. That includes the free hits as well. Because I think most people on free hits would be tempted with Ronaldo. I don't think anyone else, like people without any chips, wouldn't be getting Ronaldo in. So that's why we put him as an ignore player. But yeah, what's your views on Ronaldo and Man United in general? Would you ignore them on a free hit? Because I know we did a free hit video 2 days ago now, and you didn't have any Man United players in your free hit.
I just don't see Ronaldo even against Norwich, because the Everton one wasn't convincing at all. So if there's nothing from Ronaldo against Everton, there's nothing going to be against him in Norwich either. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's be honest. Look at the state of Man United is at the moment. Would you really want to go for any Man United player at the moment?
Well, I hear what you're saying. They're not looking great. It's just people. Well, I done a free hit video. I had Bruno in my video in my team, but I could understand why if anyone wants to go without Man United players, as we have put Ronaldo literally on the ignore list. So yeah, Ronaldo is the ignore for this week, and yeah, that could be an interesting one. Let's see how he does anyway. Liverpool and Norwich in a double game week. But yeah, let's move on to the final player we recommend that you should ignore. And that is Weghorst. Very, very interesting as well. Another interesting player because look at his XG per 90. He's not been great, 0.19. His expected assists is also quite low. 2 assists, 5 goals. Sorry, not 5 goals. 5 shots on goals, 1 goal. He's dried up recently with his attacking output. But he's got a decent double game week if you look at it on paper. West Ham and Southampton. But Burnley are struggling. Weghorst himself is struggling a lot. A lot of rumours that Burnley fans actually want him benched. And I have him in my team. As you know, I bought him in a couple of weeks ago because I knew he had 2 double game weeks coming up. This is the double game week what I was saving him for. But with the way he's playing and the way his team's playing, he doesn't look like a great player I'd be bringing in. If I was on a free hit, I wouldn't even have him on my free hit. I think I'd go with someone like Kane or even Ronaldo. Would you go Ronaldo or Weghorst this week if you had to pick one of them to get in your free hit team? Who would you go with? Probably Ronaldo.
Yeah, out of the two, even though they're terrible, both of them, Ronaldo's just a little bit better. So
yeah, that's the funny thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Weghorst, I have him in my team. I'm not very confident. He hasn't done much the last couple of weeks. But what's your views on Weghorst? As obviously we've put him on the ignore list.
Yeah, I chose not to put him in my team. It was a very wise choice because I kind of knew that state of Burnley before this double game week and the matches that they had before. He just didn't look like he was playing at his level where he was started as when he first joined Burnley. He sort of deteriorated as matches progressed. Even the last game they had, Cornet was more of a attacking threat than Weghorst was. He was pretty much like Castle the Ghost in that game.
Oh yeah, Cornet is definitely Burnley's best attacking player now, I think.
Yeah, Weghorst sort of slipped into this little gap and not being seen anymore. I mean, last game he did get taken off the game in like 60 or 70 minutes.
Yeah, he got an early sub.
Yeah, he looked like he was limping as well. So I don't know if it's to do with an injury that he might have picked up, a minor injury. That's why his performances sort of dropped recently. But it's not looking good for Weghorst. He might even be benched in one of these double game fixtures.
Yeah, there's not any news yet. He could be fine. Obviously, we'll see closer to the press conferences when Sean Dyche makes his press conference what happens with Weghorst. But I think he should be fine. But Burnley, do you see them beating West Ham and Southampton at this rate? I don't really see them getting much joy out of those two fixtures anymore, especially the way they're playing, especially Weghorst. He, as you've mentioned, he is a risk of being substituted early. We've seen him go off after 60 minutes in a couple of games so far, so it's not ideal. I think I prefer Chris Wood. On my free hit team draft I did on the last video, I recommend you bring in Chris Wood ahead of Weghorst, and I'll stick by that, I think.
Yeah, it seems that Chris Wood is a better pick. I think quite a few people brought in Newcastle assets. Chris Wood is the 6th most bought in transferred in player this week. He's got 85,000. He's just behind Qgvfzs and SAKA, who 85,000 people transferred him in Chris Wood. So he's a popular pick in the turn. Well,
it's interesting.
Replacements. Yeah,
Chris Wood is going to be highly transferred in. I think he's got decent fixtures, and there's not many great strikers. So, and at that price range, I think he's quite a no-brainer. Especially if you're on a free hit.
And he's on penalties too.
Yep, penalties too. So yeah, guys. So yeah, this has been the transfer tips video. Really, let's just quickly do a recap of the players from top to bottom. So the first player we recommend you buy is Shah from Newcastle. We think is a good transfer in for this week and also for the next 2 game weeks, I'd say. Bit short term, but we like Shah. MADDISON is the obvious one. I think MADDISON or Barnes, you could even double up on them, I think, especially if they lose today. I think he's an easy one to bring in. Newcastle, Everton, great fixtures. Aston Villa, Tottenham after that, and then back-to-back doubles at 36 and 37. Can't go wrong. MADDISON, easy buy for us this week. Rafinha's an easy sell. No fixture, and then also quite tough after 35. The other player we recommend you sell, Doherty. Obvious, he's out injured for the rest of the season, so he won't play. So yeah, you can get rid of him. SAKA, we recommend you hold as decent fixture in 33, or one fixture at least, and then he's also at the price range, quite a good value I believe. So I'd definitely be holding him for a bit longer. REECE James, we also think should hold after he got knocked out of the Champions League. So he should now be less of a rotation risk. And then the 2 players we recommend you ignore, Ronaldo, because it's Man United aren't playing great and they're struggling. And Liverpool is one of the double game week fixtures. And then Arsenal could also be quite tricky. And then Weghorst has been struggling, as well as Burnley. They're in a relegation battle now. And I think they will struggle also. But let's see. So those are the players, guys. Please drop a like on the video. Also subscribe if you haven't already. Also share the video. And yeah, drop a like. And we really appreciate if you could support the channel. And it really helps us, grow the channel. And it helps our videos be seen better, and so we can get more views. So yeah, guys, let us know what you think of our recommendations. Let us know what you think of the players we suggested. Is anyone we've left out? Is there anyone we should have included? Let us know what you think. Drop them in the comments below. Just quickly, Jordan, we've also got a video tomorrow, haven't we? Is it team selection?
Yeah, we got our team selection video tomorrow, as we have the deadline stream on Saturday, so we'll be revealing our teams potentially that we're going to have tomorrow in our video.
Yeah, so tomorrow, guys, join us at 7 o'clock, same time, where we're going to be going through our team selection videos and also captain picks, as we have to talk about that. And then Saturday, 10 a.m. deadline stream, as usual. We'll be back for that one. So yeah, so 2 more videos for this week, and then yeah, hopefully some more football this weekend. And yeah, let's see how game week 33 pans out. The last couple of game weeks hasn't been great, on the red arrow. So yeah, hopefully we get a better game week. And yeah, is there anything else you wanted to add, Jordan, or is that everything?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. We have to see as well the result of Leicester and just see whether they go through or not. It means if they do score and it's a draw, the aggregate is 0-0, but because they've both scored, it means that they could play extra time, maybe penalties, and that could make things more interesting, because if they win on penalties or even for extra time, Leicester, it does mean they've played extra minutes, and also rotation becomes more of an increase for players in Leicester. So have a watch out for that, guy, before you transfer in other players besides Maddison.
Yeah, that's a good point. Got to see what happens with that Leicester game. Let's hope, or if they do get knocked out, it makes it a bit easier for us to decide what to do with their players. But yeah, join us tomorrow for a team selection, guys. And that's it from the FPL Duo. We hope you've enjoyed watching the show. And yeah, hope to see you in the next one. Take it easy, everyone. Have a good one. And peace.
Yep, see you later, guys. Have a good one.